Hey humans of the internet, my name is Avery, and today I'm going to be trying one of the hardest boulders I've ever laid my hands on. This boulder is called Taint. It goes at V8, and until recently, that caliber of line seemed quite far out of my wheelhouse. But after a couple months of winter training, I set out with my friend Owen to see where we were at. The boulder is tucked in the corner of the Smoke Bluffs parking lot, a short walk from downtown, and easy to overlook, given a trip to the bluffs usually has you gazing up at all the beautiful splitter trad lines. Taint begins by clambering up to the starting holds above a small rocky pit, and is a bit more intimidating of a line than comes across on video. Despite the positive handholds, the feet are a bit of a different story. You first place your left on a decent smear, before bringing up your right and delicately placing your toe on a very small, couple millimeter edge. Now established on the boulder, the left arete beckons. I opted for a smaller bumping motion, starting from all points on, while Owen took off his left leg to generate momentum. But of course, that's not how it always went. This first move actually ended up being the hardest move on the boulder for both of us, despite the line staying pretty sustained after you stick it. The arete is very slopey, and I found it tricky to engage the lats and squeeze hard enough in time before my momentum sent me back to the pads. That said, when you time it correctly, it doesn't feel nearly as desperate, and is quite a cool dead point. From this hanging position, up next is a powerful sequence starting with a critical heel placement, then hand bump, and finally a big throw. While we didn't find these moves quite as cruxy as the first, they were still difficult, and we had to break out the spare demo shoes and tee to work out the micro beta. Turns out the technique of really pointing your toe to lock in a heel hook doesn't actually work that well here. This motion ends up rolling your heel out of position and onto a much slopier surface. Instead, we dialed in this move by focusing on placing the heel right in the corner of the start hold and its neighboring surface, and engaging the hamstring while keeping the foot in a relatively neutral position. Next up was figuring out where to shoot for on the rail. It took a few tries, but with some practice and the help of some chalk guidance, this move felt pretty high percentage despite its committing nature. Finally, vetting out the top, we found it was thankfully quite straightforward and a satisfying mantle. And with that, it was time to try and link it all together.
So cool.
Yeah, the top looked really easy.
Yeah, it flowed. I think, yeah, like when it goes well, it doesn't feel like much. But if you get out of body position, it feels pretty hard. Nice, Owen.
Come on, Owen.
No way. Nice.
Just like that, we had both put down our first V8s and felt ready to try something even harder. The only thing left was to clean up all of our stuff and brush off the boulder for whoever would come next. Thanks for watching, and please consider subscribing to support my mission of eventually using YouTube to generate money for our local climbing access societies and search and rescue organizations.